Sigma INFJ and Narcissist Love Affair Pattern. That's the title of this video. At first glance, the pairing of a Sigma INFJ and a narcissist seems unlikely, almost paradoxical. One is introspective, enigmatic, and deeply attuned to emotions, while the other is self-absorbed, validation-seeking, and often manipulative. But paradox is where attraction often hides. Sigma INFJ are often described as the rarest of all personality types, blending quiet intelligence, independence, and empathy. Unlike traditional INFJ, the Sigma variant is more self-sufficient and less concerned with social hierarchies. Narcissists, in contrast, seek admiration, control, and supply. They thrive on attention and feed off others' emotional energy, particularly from those who give it freely and deeply. The initial stage of the relationship is typically intoxicating. The narcissist identifies the Sigma INFJ as unique, mysterious, and emotionally rich, qualities that make for excellent narcissistic supply. The INFJ, meanwhile, is often drawn to the narcissist's charisma. They may perceive the narcissist's confidence as strength and mistake the love-bombing face for genuine connection. Sigma INFJ are private and selective, which makes the narcissist's initial intense interest feel flattering and profound. It feels like someone has finally seen them. The narcissist mirrors the INFJ depth at first, appearing emotionally available and intellectually stimulating. It's a carefully constructed mask meant to ensnare. INFJ often have a wounded healer type. They may be attracted to fixing, healing, or understanding others' pain, especially if it's cleverly concealed behind charm. This dynamic triggers an almost mythological dance, one partner chasing depth and healing, the other chasing validation and control. Soon cracks begin to form. The narcissist grows bored with genuine emotional connection and begins subtly undermining the INFJ confidence. The evaluation is slow and insidious. The INFJ begins to question their worth, wondering why the warmth has turned to coldness, gaslighting, or passive aggression. Sigma INFJ tend to internalize conflict. Rather than confront directly, they retreat inward, trying to understand and justify the narcissist's behavior. This introspection is a trap in this context. The INFJ self-questioning becomes fuel for the narcissist's manipulation, reinforcing the power imbalance. The narcissist begins to withhold affection. This creates a push-pull dynamic, forcing the INFJ to work harder to earn love that once flowed freely. The INFJ loyalty and idealism prolong the cycle. They may believe the narcissist is just hurt or misunderstood, further investing in the fantasy. Meanwhile, the narcissist grows more controlling and dismissive. Their true nature becomes apparent: validation without vulnerability, power without reciprocity. The INFJ is told they are too sensitive, too needy, or too emotional, weaponizing their empathy against them. At some point, the INFJ's intuition kicks in. Something feels deeply off. Despite confusion and emotional fatigue, they start to see the pattern. This moment is pivotal. Sigma INFJ, while emotionally invested, are fiercely independent when they awaken to betrayal. The INFJ begins to detach emotionally. They might not confront the narcissist immediately, but internally the shift is seismic. The narcissist senses the withdrawal and panics. Hoovering begins. Apologies, declarations of love, or sudden empathy reappears to reel the INFJ back. But INFJ are not easily fooled twice. Once the mask is seen as a mask, trust is difficult, if not impossible, to rebuild. The INFJ may leave quietly, and like explosive breakups, their departure is often silent, even invisible, One day the narcissist simply realizes they're gone. This disappearing act devastates the narcissist. The loss of control, of supply, and of admiration feels unbearable. For the INFJ, healing is complex. They grieve not only the loss of the person, but the illusion of love they built around them. Self-blame can linger. The INFJ may question how they allowed the relationship to continue for so long, forgetting how expertly they were manipulated. But introspection becomes empowerment. They use their analytical mind and emotional depth to rebuild themselves stronger and wiser. The Sigma INFJ transforms pain into wisdom. Their resilience lies in the ability to integrate the experience into their personal growth journey. Boundaries are redrawn. Future relationships are approached with clarity, self-respect, and a finely tuned emotional radar. The narcissist, however, moves on to new supply. Rarely do they evolve. They repeat the cycle, seeking the next emotionally rich partner to exploit. But they remember the INFJ. Sigmas are unforgettable, enigmatic, emotionally intelligent, and spiritually deep. The narcissist may forever view them as the one that got away. For the INFJ, the experience becomes a spiritual awakening. They often emerge more grounded, more protective of their energy, and more attuned to red flags. INFJ often retreat into nature, art, or introspective work to process and transcend the trauma. Eventually, they stop blaming themselves. They recognize that love is not supposed to hurt, confuse, or devalue. It's meant to nourish and expand the soul. And in that quiet transformation, the Sigma INFJ becomes unbreakable. Not hardened, but wiser. More luminous in solitude. More sovereign in love. Now, that is the love affair pattern between a Sigma INFJ and a narcissist. Let me quickly summarize that pattern. At first glance, the pairing of a Sigma INFJ and a narcissist seems unlikely. Then, stage 2, Sigma INFJs are often described as the rarest of all personality types. The other thing is narcissists, in contrast, seek admiration, control, and supply. And the initial stage of the relationship between a narcissist and a Sigma INFJ is typically intoxicating. The INFJ, meanwhile, is often drawn to the narcissist's charisma. Sigma INFJs are private and selective. The narcissist mirrors the INFJ's depth at first. INFJs often have a wounded healer type, and this dynamic triggers an almost mythological dance. Soon, cracks begin to form. Devaluation is slow and insidious. Sigma INFJ tend to internalize conflict. This introspection is a trap in this context. The narcissist begins to withhold affection. The INFJ loyalty and idealism prolong the cycle. Meanwhile, the narcissist grows more controlling and dismissive. Gaslighting intensifies. At some point, the INFJ intuition kicks in, and this moment is pivotal. The INFJ begins to detach emotionally. The narcissist senses the withdrawal and panics. But INFJ are not easily fooled twice. The INFJ may leave quietly. This disappearing act devastates the narcissist. For the INFJ, healing is complex. Self-blame can linger, but introspection becomes empowerment. The Sigma INFJ transforms pain into wisdom. Boundaries are drawn and they're redrawn. The narcissist, however, moves on to new supply, but they remember the INFJ. For the INFJ, the experience becomes a spiritual awakening. Support and solitude play a key role in healing. Eventually, they stop blaming themselves. And in that quiet transformation, the Sigma INFJ becomes unbreakable. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you've learned a thing or two. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.